Dear learners, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our new lesson for the subject of accounting. For the students of Business Studies English version, we are going to carry the chapter of trial balance. This is the lecture number 2. This is conducted by Mahmoud Hussain, lecturer in accounting, English medium morning shift, Rajaputra Model College, Dhaka. Okay, dear learners, I think you are ready to take my new lecture for the chapter of trial balance. This is the very important chapter for the subject of accounting in any level, that is from beginning to end level. This lecture is applicable for class 9 and 10 business studies and also for class 11 business studies. Okay, dear students, I am starting my new lecture. Today, I will solve a creative question of this chapter, that is trial balance. You are watching a new creative question for this chapter. In the slide or in the content, item is given. Okay, now I am starting. At first, you have to write in all information of this system to be written in your accounting practice copy in a hurry. Just starting. Creative question of trial balance. Following ledger balances of Shah and Brothers as on 31st December 2019 are as follows. Accounts title Taka, capital 2,20,000, cash in hand 1,19,30,000, debtors 50,000, creditors 30,000, drawings 20,000, purchase 60,000, sales 90,000, interest on investment 6,000, closing stock 24,000, insurance premium 10,000, import duty 7,000, commission received 4,000, investment 60,000, interest on bank deposit 1,000, furniture 80,000, advertisement 2,000, opening stock 50,000, closing bank balance 12,000. Totally 18 balances are given in the stem or in the ledger balances. From this system you have to complete the following requirements. Requirement A, which items are not recorded in trial balance, calculate the amount. Requirement B, prepare a trial balance from the above ledger balances. Requirement C, calculate the amount of revenue income and revenue expenditure. Dear students, from the previous lecture, I think you have understood a lot of information for preparing a trial balance. The items which are not included in trial balance, that is opening cash in hand, opening bank balance, opening bank overdraft, and closing stock. In general sense, totally these items are not included in trial balance. I repeat again, opening cash or opening cash balance, that is first date of the year, cash fund. Second one, opening bank balance. Third one, opening bank overdraft. Fourth one, closing inventory or closing stock or unsold stocks. Dear learners, just from the stem or from the ledger balances, I am discussing about the each item. Capital, in all time, capital is credited. So in trial balance, capital is credit. Cash in hand 1119, that is opening balance of cash in hand. This item is not included in trial balance. Debtors, that is accounts receivable. Account receivable, one kind of current assets, that is asset. Assets items in all time is debited. Creditors, that is accounts payable. Accounts payable is one kind of current liability or short-term liability. From the rules and regulation of trial balance, a procedure of preparing a trial balance, accounts payable is current liability, that is one kind of liability. A liability is credited. Drawings, this item is contra equity, that is negative item of equity, so it is debited in all time. Purchase is the biggest expenditure of any business. All expenses are debit, so purchase account is debit. Sales, the maximum amount of revenue come from sales. Sales is the revenue or income, so all revenues are credit, that is sales is credit. Interest on investment, investment one kind of asset, but interest on investment is one kind of revenue or income. Closing stock, in general concept, closing stock is not included or is not recorded in trial balance. Insurance premium, this item is one kind of expenses. All expenses are debit, so insurance premium is debit. Import duty, import duty, export duty or excise duty, any kind of duty in all time is expenses. Expenses are debit. Commission received, is one kind of revenue. Revenue is credit item. Investment is the amount of long-term investment, that is one kind of asset. All assets are debit, so investment is debit item. Interest on bank deposit, that is one kind of asset or current assets, but interest on bank deposit or bank balance is indicated as revenue income. So revenue income's amount is all time credited. At this moment, interest on bank deposit is credit. Furniture, this item is one kind of fixed asset, that is long-term asset. In all time, assets are debit items, so furniture is debit. Advertisement, one kind of revenue expenditure, that is expenses. All expenses are debit, so advertisement expense is debit. Opening stock, from the beginning stock in all time is one kind of expenditure, so this item is debit in trial balance. Closing bank balance, in all time, closing cash balance, closing bank balance, closing debtor, closing receivable or closing payable, all time included in trial balance. At this moment, closing bank balance. Bank balance is all time in one kind of short-term asset or current assets. So closing bank balance is debited in trial balance. Now we can go for writing the requirements from A, B, C. Dear students, at first you have to draw a format for solution of requirement A. You are watching a new slide, a new content in the screen for requirement A. The items are not recorded in trial balance. Calculated the amount as follows. The format is given. First column is serial number, if any. Accounts title, second column. Third column, amount taka detail. Fourth column, amount taka total. From this stem, totally 2 items we get not recorded in trial balance. Number 1, cash in hand 1119, that is opening cash in hand taka 30,000 and closing stock 24,000. Students, so you have to write in account title column cash in hand 1119 30,000, closing stock 24,000, total amount of money for not recorded in trial balance, that is 54,000, to be closed in outer column. Here's for helping or remember, generally not included in trial balance, opening cash in hand not included in trial balance, opening bank balance not included in trial balance, opening bank overdraft not included in trial balance, closing stock or closing inventory or unsold stocks not included in trial balance. Okay, go for knowing the requirement B. What is the requirement B? Prepare a trial balance from the above ledger balances. From the stem, you have to prepare a trial balance, that is summarization of balances or testing the arithmetical accuracy of the accounts. Dear students, from the first lecture, you have seen totally 5 columns to be used for preparing a trial balance format. I can go for showing the proper format of trial balance. Requirement B, trial balance is prepared below using proper format. Totally 5 columns used. First one, serial number. Second one, account titles. Third one, ledger folio or reference. Fourth one, debit taka. Fifth one, credit taka. From the stem we can get totally 16 balances. 2 balances not included in trial balance, so have to enter or have to post in trial balance totally 16 balances from this system. Number 1, capital. Capital is credit for taka 2,20,000 in trial balance. Debtors, that is accounts receivable, it's another name. Book debt, it's another name. Sales ledger account. And all time you have to remember debtors is debit for taka 50,000 in this trial balance. Creditors, that is accounts payable, it's another name. Purchase ledger account and suppliers. So in all time creditors are accounts payable is credited. In this trial balance, amount of taka 30,000 credited for creditors or accounts payable. Drawings, it is contra equity or negative equity. In all time drawings account is debited. So in this trial balance 20,000 taka debited for drawings. Purchase purchase the expenditure. So purchase account is debited in trial balance for 60,000. Sales this is the revenue income from the procedure of preparing a trial balance. Sales is revenue. So in this trial balance, 90,000 is credited for sales amount. Interest on investment, it is also one kind of revenue income. In this trial balance, taka 6,000 is credited for interest on investment. Insurance premium, taka 10,000 debit for this trial balance because it is an expenses. Import duty, it is also an expense. So in trial balance, import duty taka 7,000 debited in this trial balance. Commission received, one kind of revenue income. In this trial balance, taka 4,000 credited for this item. Investment, it is one kind of asset. In all time, any kind of assets are debited in trial balance. In this trial balance, for taka 60,000 for investment is debited in this trial balance. Interest on bank deposit, one kind of asset, but its interest, that is interest on bank deposit or interest on bank balance, is all time is revenue income. All kinds of revenue income is credited in trial balance. In this trial balance, taka 1,000 is credited for this item. Furniture is one kind of fixed asset. Furniture is debited in this trial balance for taka 80,000 because all assets are debit. Advertisement is debited taka 2,000 in this trial balance because advertisement is an expenditure or revenue expenditure in any business. Opening stock, this is the amount of last year closing amount or closing stock or unsold stock, but in this year opening stock is used for operating a business. So opening stock is revenue expenditure in all time in any business. In this trial balance, taka 50,000 debited for opening stock. Closing bank balance, closing bank balance, cash balance or closing cash balance is indicated as in all time current assets or short-term asset. Closing bank balance in all time is debited. In this trial balance, taka 12,000 debited for this item, that is closing bank balance. I have already posted in the all balances in trial balance. Now you have to total and debit side and credit side. If it is agreed, then your solution of creative question for preparing a trial balance is correct. If not, then you are not correct, that is you are incorrect. But in all time, debit amount is equal to credit amount. In trial balance, total of debit is to be equal to total credit amount. In this trial balance, debit taka total 3,51,000 and credit taka total 3,51,000. This is the total amount of this trial balance. So it is equal to, it is the perfect one. Dear students, I think you have written in your accounting practice copy. Now we can go for solving the requirement C. What is the requirement C? Calculate the amount of revenue income and revenue expenditure. Revenue income, that is all revenues or incomes. Revenue expenditure, that is all expenses. So dear students, you can go for solving requirement C. Two formats to be drawn for revenue income and revenue expenditures amount calculation. At first, revenue income, same format is to be followed like as requirement A. So I think you have drawn two format for revenue income, another one and revenue expenditure. In this math, totally 4 items are included in revenue incomes. Number 1, sales for taka 90,000 in detail column, interest on investment taka 6,000 in detail column, commission received taka 4,000 in detail column, interest on bank deposit taka 1,000 in detail column. Total amount of taka 1,01,000 of revenue income in this system. Or for this creative question, revenue expenditure, totally 5 items are available in revenue expenditure of this math or of this system. Number 1, purchase for taka 60,000 in detail column, insurance premium taka 10,000 detail column, import duty taka 7,000 for detail column, advertisement taka 2,000 for detail column, opening stock taka 50,000 for detail column. Total amount of revenue expenditure is taka 1,29,000. In this system, totally 5 items of revenue expenditure, that is expenses, are available. That is the amount of total expenditure is taka 1,29,000. Dear learners, I think you have completed the writing in your accounting practice copy. For the first creative question of trial balance, I think you have understood it very easily. For your future betterment, you have to much and more practice. Thank you so much for being today. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum.